you my story on the worst, um, on the day I got bad mozzarella sticks. All right, be me. You're going on break from work. You decide to order yourself a cheeseburger with some mozzarella sticks. You order some mozzarella sticks. The burger was good, right? Nothing wrong with that. Then you go to the mozzarella sticks. You take a bite out of it. Or I mean, I take a bite out of it. I look at it. That bitch is hollow. It's all bready. Where's the mozzarella? It's just a stick. So I proceeded to break every single one of them to look inside. They were all hollow. All of them was just a stick. There was no
Okay.
mozzarella in these sticks. Now, normally, they make pretty good mozzarella sticks, but sometimes they just be giving me the stick without the mozzarella. Apparently, the mozzarella was sold separately.
Okay.
And that's the story on how I had some horrible mozzarella sticks. Yeah, like that shit was ass. It was horrible. I was like, what the fuck happened? I don't remember the because like I said, the mozzarella sticks usually when I order them from that restaurant, it's good. But like today, it was just like all stick, no mozzarella. I think it was a sign, maybe. I think it was a sign. But nah, that's pretty much a good day. I've been playing around with the NX4, and like I said, I managed to get the PS2 games working. So I started playing Dark Cloud today, and I'm just like, yo, I finally get portable Dark Cloud. Portable Ratchet and Clank 1. It's the controls are gonna be a bit to get used to, cause it's it's like a DS, but it looks like a what was it? Well, you know, you saw the picture, you guys. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a fucking. It looks like a 3DS.
I'm like, yo, I can play once I get the 3DS stuff set up on this thing, I can play Kid Icarus Uprising on this thing.
That'd be pretty sick.
I know, I'm just like, and I've just got it. I'm like, I'm starting to learn how to use it. I'm like, yo, this thing is so cool. I cannot wait until we get to the nitty gritty and I start playing DS games and PSP games. Once I get PSP games working, I'm probably gonna give my old PSP to my cousin, my cousin. Still works and it's modded, so I just gotta teach him how to use it, add some games on there, or how to use my modded PSP, and he's good to go. Anyway, so do you got anything to say?
I am
He's
losing
locked
my
in
mind.
right now on this.
I am losing my mind. Isaac's probably been watching me this change.
I've been watching the whole time.
Like the audio for me is just like
Yeah, Bro's been locked in. The wall of redacteds.
I can't. I had to turn off my headphones. So I just didn't want to affect Nick's stream.
Oh. Thank you, man.
But please tell me if there's any background noise.
So far, no, because I'm watching the stream, and so far I don't think I'm hearing any background noise from the stream. I mean, the chat will probably let me know. Right, chat? Or whoever's watching?
I'm watching.
Also, I like the song. What's the song in the background, Seth?
Called Credits.
Credits? Okay.
Actually, I don't know the name of the song. I can.
So wait, you just straight up lied to him? It's not called credits?
I don't know.
No,
I think the song is called Credits. It's by this dude Frums.
nah, I like this song. It's nice. But nah, one day, chat, I'm gonna play Dark Cloud 2, and I'm just gonna be doing nothing but fishing tournaments. Yeah, because in the second game, apparently, you can do fishing tournaments. And I loved fishing in the first game. The fishing from the first game is such a fun thing. And I'm like, I'm glad they expanded it in the second game. It's like, yeah, you can go into whole ass fishing tournaments. I'm like, hell yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, if you got chat, if you got any questions, like that goes for you, to like, yeah, no, feel free to ask. I'm trying to talk a little
Gotcha.
more, so like, I don't know, feel free to like ask me something.
Yeah.
I'm about to lose my mind.
Damn.
Why does everything have to be in swing time?
Everything just gotta be in swing time, bro.
Bro getting pissed off at swing. Bro is actively hating on that genre.
Just go left and right, bro. Left and right. Left, right, left, right. Sucks we ain't gonna do the gravity rush. At least I don't think. Is there gravity rush 3? Probably not.
No, there is no Gravity Rush 3.
No. Speaking of which, eventually I have to go back to 1 and platinum the game because here's the thing, I am missing a couple trophies away. I'm a couple trophies away from the platinum game. So I've been platinum hunting, trophy hunting, one might say. There's one game that I've been like playing for years that's gonna be really hard to freaking platinum for, and that is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Good lord. Good luck, man. If I ever play Xenoverse 2, you know how difficult it is. Like, most of the trophies was just me playing for the game, right? Which is fine. But this is achievement I wanted to do. It wasn't even an achievement. I don't even think it's part of the trophy list. It's just something I just wanted to do just because I like the game. Just for the love of the game. I tried to rank all the missions. That includes the DLC mission. This shit is not easy. It's not for the weak, actually. Not for the weak. Because some of these missions are like, if you ever see a Xenoverse 2 meme where it's like average PQ mission, you see like all the strongest TB villains and shit like that, that's pretty much what it is. Or there's one that's like Super Saiyan Bargain Sale and you're fighting all the Saiyans, but they're strongest.
Almost birthday party. You must fight through every single villain and god in Dragon Ball.
Exactly. That's exactly how these missions go.
That's a lock-in.
It's just yeah, exactly. Beat every villain in Dragon Ball. Oh, and your assist is like Yamcha or something, and he's made out of paper. So like, a gust of wind could kill me. But nah, so far I've C-ranked most of the missions, like non-DLC missions, and some of the DLC missions. But I'm telling you, this shit is not for the weak. Like I remember, I think I clocked in like 400 hours in that game. It might be one of those cases where I clock in 1,000 hours, like I did with Smash Bros. On the 3DS, just to 100% it. Worth it, by the way. I'm being serious. Like that's what actually got me into competitive scene too. I'm not sure if I ever told you guys that of what got me into the competitive scene in Smash in the first place, but that's what got me into it. It was 1 to 100% that game. Like, so I remember when you asked me, like, from my perspective, like, how would I make it a fighting game easier to get into?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was coming. That's where I was like coming from because like that's how I got into the Smash Bros. I was like playing. I did it because I wanted to 100% it like an actual game. Actually, did you ever ask Isaac that question?
I had
Like,
to ask
What?
people
Not yet.
who are like more
Well,
so newer to fighting games.
oh,
Like
right.
that question, I can't. For me, I could like say a bunch of stuff, but it's not really like how a new player is gonna look at it because I had like
yeah.
been playing it for years. It's been over a decade now. Actually, over 2 decades. I've been playing fighting games. That's so yeah. That's why I ask like newer people usually like start it or they just play every once in a while.
All right. Well, answer the question or re-answer the question for the chat. Um, the reason why I would think like would add like oh my god, the thing I should think fighting games would add would be like I said, more of like single player content. There's just more content in general, like unlock up and stuff. Like make you earn like more stuff in the game. You know what I mean? Because that kind of incentivizes me to like play more and learn more about the game. And don't make it like bullshit either. Make it to where like you add like slowly teaching me, not teaching me how to play the game, but like making me learn about the. Alright, like it allows me to experience, not experience, but like I'm not so much trying to speak, not trying to speak. I'm fuck. All right, let me take my time for this.
What?
Hmm?
Like I was listening to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm thinking just adding like actual like what feels like content to the game. Like don't add like bullshit content. Like, but I'm thinking like not bullshit content. Like add content that makes you want to play the game more and makes you learn more about the game. Like I want to say Smash is a like good example of it. Like the whole thing with like Smash Bros. That got me into running out the custom parts, even though they were low key. I think they were banned in most tournament settings, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
They were
Uh,
banned in all tournament settings.
although there is a certain tournament that ran it.
Yeah,
It
customs
just made
tournament.
it completely unbalanced and unplayable
Yeah.
for the opponent.
Like I think the idea behind this is that you're giving incentive you're incentivizing people to try and get into a fighting game specifically under a casual sense, which that works. I mean that's exactly what Street Fighter 6 did. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
they had an entire single player section. Well, that's just it's not just that. It's an
I,
entire thing for the base game. You get to customize a character, customize their moves. You're doing quests, literally a whole bunch of quests, and it takes the core aspect of Street Fighter 6 and makes an entire single player experience beyond that.
exactly.
That's probably the best thing you can probably do for a fighting game for the most part. Something like that is hard to do for most fighting games, so the matter of like trying to get a person from being a casual player into a competitive player.
Like I don't
You
want
can
them to be
separate the two
competitive,
easily. Yeah, you can separate the two easily.
but it's just one of those things where I find it hilarious that a lot of people just don't. They don't play. They play fighting games, but it's just like conversations at work is like, oh, like they hear I play competitive and all that,
Right.
and they say they want to get into a fighting game, but it's way too hard. And I
Or
was
they're
like,
trying to
what's
get
hard
into
about it?
it competitively.
Like they don't want to do it competitively. They just can't learn
They
to
just
play the
can't get
game.
into it. Okay.
Yeah, the learning aspect is the hard part.
It's weird because like I, with me as a kid, when I started playing fight games, it was just like I didn't think too much about being like, man, I gotta learn how to play the game. Like, granted, I button mashed at first, and then as I like played it and looked at what was going on, I was like, okay, I started to understand it a little more, right? Like, I didn't learn how quarter circles worked until I played like Guilty Gear, which is kind of funny. Like when I was playing
Yeah,
X
that's
for
like
the
that makes
first
sense.
time, and I was just like playing around, and it was just like I was in training mode. I was doing like, the little combo trial, and I was like, "What is this Turtle Circle input and the Z input?" And it took playing around. I just figured it out eventually. It's kind of like I feel like you just kind of have to play around with it until you figure it out. But this is coming from someone who's
But
like,
yeah, but that's the
like I feel like it takes a level of
what
patience.
That's I think the main issue to be tackled. We're talking about like he's talking about like trying to get a person who isn't into fighting games trying to get into fighting games. Having to get around like learning or just just trying to learn the game itself and get better.
like
The problem
like
is
yeah,
that most
you did what
games you what?
I was about to say. Like Nick did what everyone that wanted to learn a fighting game did. They just sat down, went into practice or combo trial, and they learn either independently or by some help with the trial.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's
But
also let me let you finish.
that's the thing. It's weird that a person can play a fight like a shooter. Like they don't need to go to the tutorial. They just play a shooter and then it's like, all right, I know how to play this, and they can skip the tutorial. Maybe there's like a mechanic or two that's different. If you play a MOBA, you automatically know what to do. You just need to like learn what they need to buy or how the character works. But other than that, it's exactly the same. Like so on and so forth. But for a fighting game, that's like the weird part. Like, why is this like the hardest thing to learn?
Honestly, I feel like it comes down with like the it's that we were talking about earlier, but patience. I don't think people have enough patience to actually like learn enough to like enjoy themselves. Because like I also another
Eh,
thing too, when I play fight games, like you know, I think in Seth, you'll notice when I play fighting games, especially when I play them for the first time, I kind of just go into the arcade mode, or I do a single player mode, just play around a little bit, and then
right.
see what like works. You know what I mean? But
All
like I
right.
said, to go back to it, I feel like people just don't have the patience to learn at least the basics to enjoy the game.
That's a really weird way of. I mean, I can agree with that, but like, it's really weird looking at that because still going back off of like Seb's statement, like, how exactly is it that a person can have enough patience to go into a shooter and just go around shooting? Because like, and this also stems to the idea that like there are people out there who literally just don't like losing, like at all. And there are people who are really bad that they will not get a single kill in a shooter. They'll do very poorly. Yeah, they have more patience to do that as opposed to playing a fighting game.
They'll go like it's the same amount of time that a person will practice a like if they're playing casually, but they still want to be like in ranked, which is just a competitive sense. Yeah, is that like true comp because you're not in a real tourney? Like a real tourney is completely different from whatever online social standings, unless it's like an online tournament. Even still, it's like different from ranked. They'll go into aim labs like 4 hours, 5 hours a day, do all their like aim training stuff like that to get better. But that's the same aspect of the fighting game training room. But what I still find it weird that people like don't learn still. It's I get it. It's like a slower learning curve than any other game. But people can like also just sit down and just play like a card game and just be like, all right, I understand my whole entire deck, and just like play. But for a fighting game, they'll understand the character and not understand how to play the game.
Now, I just realized something. We could also pick another example for action games, like Devil May Cry, God of War.
Well, those games are easier to get into since it's like a purely a single player game, and for the most part, um, really it's just it boils down to being a hack and slash. You know, you don't really have to be good at those games to play those games mindlessly, like at
But
all.
people do eventually do more of the complex stuff off for their second playthrough.
Yeah, like they'll do that shit afterwards, after the fact, and they can still have the patience and still play the game, especially with the fact that most of those games have a difficulty setting as well.
But don't most fighting games, especially like single player, have difficulty setting, not including the online? You know,
Yeah, but that's the thing that's still under confusion, right? Like, and again, and like the thing about that, right, too, is that arcade is not always like a gateway for people to just immediately play a game. It sounds weird, but that is the thing. Like, that's just something that people just don't do immediately. Like, yeah, there's an arcade mode. A fighting game's gonna have to have a fucking arcade mode, right? But that doesn't sell it on people. You know, like, it's a killer if the game doesn't have one, but if the game has one, like, okay, well, what else is there for me to what's gonna convince me to continue playing this game?
We're asking the real
Whereas,
questions
whereas, like, Devil May Cry, like, again, this is purely a single player game where, like, the most of your motivation is going to be playing the game. And usually, right, when it comes to a game, if a person fucks with a game to a degree, where they'll go out of their way to play the game straight until they beat it, and be like, yeah, I like this game, and then they'll move on. If a person fucks with a game enough to be motivated to even play the game again on a higher difficulty, then they just really fuck with the game. And it's like, it's that kind of situation. For a fighting game, you don't have that kind of effect. Like, you could play arcade, yeah, and then be like, yeah, I really like this game, and then try out a different character. But you're just playing arcade at the end of the day. There's not enough single-player motivation for a person to have when in a fighting game like that. Unless there was actually more to it than that.
That's where I get it. Like I start asking around during the time, but it was like Nick,
I'm like, you already
Josh.
have examples of that with Soul Cow, Tech. No, not Tech. Well, do we? Does Tech count?
We like we could go really far back to like the really shitty fighting game era. Like I'm talking about like guys. That game is horrible, but it has a really cool single player aspect. There's a dungeon crawling mode.
Yeah.
And you can like upgrade your weapons, change your character's armor, get new moves.
He also mentioned Soul Calibur, and like Soul Calibur also has that same kind of thing.
Yeah, like we mentioned Street Fighter 6. Like
once again, it does have that same kind of thing.
But like,
if we're talking games,
no one really but no one really talks about like World Tour and Street Fighter 6.
No.
I get it. A fighting game is it became a more like online experience because like, you know, the rise of home consoles and stuff like that. You normally invited a person over to play a fighting game with you.
Yeah.
And now it became online, but more and more people also have been looking at fighting games, and they always hit this wall of, I want to learn, but I just don't understand. And there's also the whole entire aspect of learning online, which I believe like Sajam and other people that are well known in the fighting community has stated. It's like a whole entire different fucking language. What do you mean 5H? What do you mean down, forward, fierce? What the hell is forward?
Hell is quarter circle.
Why? What do you mean a pretzel motion?
He beat Star.
Like, but at the same time, like, it goes back to what I said about other games. Like, people can say in a shooter, like, yo, he's up in heaven. What did homie do? Why did he die? But like, they're not talking about, oh, he died. They're talking about he's like on a higher elevation. Like, they'll say like different names for guns. Like in MOBAs, they'll be like, they'll state a character. If a character's name is too long, they'll like shorten it, or they'll say like an item name that's like not the item name anymore. It's just shortened, or it's like the community has dubbed it something else. But for a fighting game, it's just like we have different languages. Might as well call it like Street Fighter is English for Americans, I guess. For most American players, people really disrupt with like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and we'll just say quarter circles, stuff like that. But if you're playing like an anime fighter, you have like the number notation, but you can't use the number notation if you were talking to a second player, because that's what you use for your buttons. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Forward 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. I'm not speaking binary. I'm just trying to teach you a combo.
And when you won,
again, that goes back to the whole like, hell, fucking, you know your ABCs. Well, so does SNK, and they want to teach you. And I just feel like it's so weird still I'm not saying this or to trash fighting games, as it's one of my most played genres. Like Nick over here understands. He knows. He sees me in the lab.
Play with them. I,
But yeah, it's just one of those things I'm like generally curious. How do you make the entry for fighting games lower? Because like every single fighting game developer has lowered the bar every single time. Sometimes the bar is way too low and it affects the fighting game altogether. And people,
Five.
I wasn't gonna say names.
hold up. Actually,
But-
yeah, no, say names. Give me the example.
I already gave you an
Street Fighter
example.
5. Street Fighter 5 is a prime to ever happen. I don't agree with people who were having fun memories of Street Fighter 5. They bastardized every single character in that game. And yeah, it's cool that it was easier, but like, I know people don't fuck with grapplers. I like grapplers. That's like an entry level character to play. And it's either for each season when they rebalance the character, it's either like okay, here's one godlike grappler character, or they are left into the bin and then they bury it under cement and it's like, this is where you belong and this is where you will stay. I like, what else? Street Fighter 5 has that. Street Fighter 6 had that at the same time, but it's not as bad. But that was like a more modernized controls. It made it easier, so people who don't understand quarter circles can still play the game. It split the community in half. Like even newer players, like new people into fighting games, or just people trying out fighting games, were saying their piece is either like, oh, it got me into it, or it put me off of it even more because it just felt scrubby. Which, again, it's so weird that we have like this nuance of style over substance, or substance over style. Like, you have to pick one. You're already not good at the game, and people are talking. So how do you make a fighting game easier? So the hardest question in gaming. It's like, why is JRPG characters always children? The world will never know.
Good question. Wait, no, they gotta be some JRPG characters that are adults.
Yeah, a few. Like,
I've always said this specifically about fighting games. Sometimes the game's just not for everyone. If a person wants to get into it, but they don't want to put into work, they don't know what to do, they just don't. Like, if a person just doesn't have enough patience for a game, maybe they just shouldn't play the game. I know it's kind of a cold thing to say, but like, at the end of the day, like, you know, fucking just gotta have patience for it. Some games are more accessible than others, yeah, but if you can't get into it, you can't get into it.
but it's
It
just
all
so
really
weird
boils
that
down to
like,
the individual.
yeah, but it's just like, it's so weird that like fighting games get the stigma of like, oh, it's gate kept, but it's not.
It really isn't.
There's a skill issue. Even that may not just be interesting. It's what it is.
Again, it's not for everyone.
I don't think cold
Anyway,
take. I don't think it's really justified thing.
No, it can be a cold take. It can be a cold take.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that feel that every game should be accessible.
yeah,
Like, not every game is accessible. That's one thing.
that's
But like,
and yeah, and to a degree, I do agree with certain people that fighting games should be accessible to a degree. The problem is it's just too hard to do. And when something like that happens, bad things happen to the game. And a prime example of that, as we mentioned, was Street Fighter V, because the problem was is that they made the game incredibly easy, which was good for people to get into the game because people were feeling good, actually learning how to play the game and actually getting good at it. The problem was that that was universal. That was universal across the board. When you give a person who's new the tools that they need to use to learn the game, they'll be good at first. But the thing is that the tools are shared amongst people who already know how to play the game perfectly. And that's when that's when it boils down to the spectrum of skill, where if you pit the two people together who've been like training for the same amount of time, learning how to play the game, who do you think is going to win?
But again, that's like, well, technically that's a whole entire separate conversation, and that's
Yeah.
with the whole entire idea of like skill ceiling, and Street Fighter skill ceiling was like really low, so it just made like a cramped room of like people that, yeah, it's, you could play the game, but if you were to try to go a little bit higher, you're just gonna get burnt out because of everyone else.
But,
Meaning like a person that played Street Fighter for like years is gonna like decimate you, but like a person who just started playing can also beat you, which doesn't really feel that good, because it's like you put in the time, but if anyone can beat you, even though you put in the time, that it doesn't feel that great. But at the same time, like, you could go like simpler. Like, again, there's games that do generally have accessibility. Like, they'll do the genre and make an accessible entry. Like, fucking Splatoon. Like, you don't need to be godlike at a shooter, but if you do the core objective and you could get a limbs on the board, you're doing well in the game. Speaking of which, Splatoon, I feel bad. I'll state this. I did some war crimes in that game.
War crimes. Oh,
You know how COD kids felt on Christmas Day? I was that. I felt the same way. I had the same feeling as like new COD players played like a game I had for a while. Oh boy, Splatoon was that game. Splatoon 3. I dropped 50 kills, filled up the whole entire map by myself. I should have been arrested. It had to be during, like, it was during winter. It was near Christmas, and you know, little Timmy got his brand new Splatoon game. You know, he's got to stay up on the weekend. Nah, it's Adult Swim, sorry. But I digress. Again, it's a good example of Splatoon. It was originally supposed to be like a hardcore shooter, and it changed its switch, and it became a more accessible shooter. It is beloved, and it's a lot of people play it. It's easy to understand. It doesn't mean that everyone's playing it, but it's something that people picked up, are quick to like learn all the mechanics and play, and it'll play through the single player stuff perfectly fine. For a fighting game, I guess it's mechanically, it's not. Sometimes it's hard, but if you put it too easy, it becomes a little bit tedious or boring. Again, Street Fighter V, V skill, V trigger mechanic. But if you can go really hard about it and be like, yo, do you understand the Undernight UNES system? Do you understand what is a pressure break? Do you understand like its version of, of a Roman cancel?
Do you know
Hey,
what is a
do you understand reversal state? Do you not understand chain shift? Do you understand combo exchange chain shift? Do you know overload state? Like a person by like playing it will not learn every single one of those things because it's way too complex. Or a Blaze Blue gimmick character. Hey, do you want to like you saw Naruto? You want to like open all 9 gates? You wanna learn how to play fucking basketball in this like fighting game? It becomes like overwhelming to new players, but if the characters are too simple, then it becomes too boring. Again, fighting games are weird. Hell, even the rhythm game I'm playing, that like these guys can see, even though I'm not playing it right now. Like, I feel like slowly but surely you're understanding the core aspects of what I'm doing as I'm hitting notes and rhythm, because it's not a traditional rhythm game. Anyway. Anyone there?
I'm still listening. Just quiet.
Oh, I didn't know I had the center stage.
Yeah, nah, you had this in the stage, bro.
But again, it is that ease, even at first glance, it's that ease of understanding the game. But for a fighting game, even if a pro player has played a fighting game, and they played a million fighting games, once they look at a character, they're not instantly like, "Oh, I know what's going on." It could be completely different than what they thought, and they're going, "Oh, what?" Like, I could show Isaac a combo, and it'll be for a fighting game that he never played, and he will have no idea what I pressed. He knows what could happen. If like, he will understand like what moves can combo by different things in training. But it's still that like, oh, I understand how this fighting game works. So for a newer player, everything must be like gibberish. Like, it's not even like terminology anymore, it's just like the game mechanics.
Like, I would be like, you speaking French to me, boy?
Are you offended by French?
Again, like Smash Brothers have their own language. You know, Nair. I ain't talking about the hair care product. Well, it's not really hair care, it's hair removal. But, you know, neutral air. Even that is like, you get a little Timmy that they're gonna be like, I don't know what to do. You know, show a like a kid a wave dash, they're gonna be like, whoa, that's cool. Explain how to wave dash, they're gonna be like, I don't understand what language you're speaking. Triangle jump attack, guard cancel release jump. What are you saying? You can't do that.
Are you speaking Chinese to me, boy?
And again, that's why I say, like, fighting games have their own language. Because even with Wave Dash, Smash Brothers is not the only game that has a Wave Dash. There's multiple fighting games that have Wave Dashes.
Like, technically, does I was gonna say does Tekken count because like you can backdash technically or
No, there is wave dashing in second. Korean backdashing is basically reverse.
Wave dash.
Wave dash in reverse. Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make sure I got that.
But
right.
it executed completely different. But that's a good example. Which, even though wave dashing is like a weird form of like triangle jumping, that in of itself is like different. It's like I just started speaking Spanish and I just brought up Latin, so let's not go into that.
Like fighting games, the genre just
But-
seems really interesting. There's so much like that's involved. In it. Like you said, it's like you're learning your own language. It's like learning a language. It's like each game has their own lingo, language. And it's just interesting.
Like that's why it's also funny that like it's just like the reason why I say like it's funny because like if you say you're part of a fighting game community, you don't really say that. You just say, yeah, I'm part of the FGC, the fighting game community. People don't really say, oh, like they'll state which part, but they won't say like as a unified front. But if you were talking to a person that plays only shooters, they're just like, yeah, I'm part of the COD community. They don't say, oh, I'm part of the first-person shooter community, which is weird.
FPS. You say the FPS community.
They don't say that.
Nobody says
Yeah,
that because nobody fucking wants to say it. Because they don't want to
They
be
don't-
associated with certain FPSs that exist.
But like for a fighting game, even for like the bottom of the barrel trash, it's like it's individual tastes. People will still say, yeah, that's still part of the fighting game community. You know, they'll be the Sailor Moon players, putting their blood, sweat, and tears into learning the most trash ass combos I've ever seen in my life. But they're part of this community, and we respect that.
That's right. We
But
respect that.
for other games, it's just like, nah, man, if you are actually get kept.
So, like for example,
But-
the anime fighting games, like games like Budokai Tenkaichi, Budokai Tenkaichi, the Naruto Clash game, Ultimate Storm game.
Ironically, Nick, that's not technically called a. Even though they're anime games, those are not part of the anime fighting game community.
Really?
Those are part of the arena fighter community.
Oh, okay. So, like, the game is based off a popular anime, right? Right? It has
Yeah, that's not.
fighting components, but it's not a fighting. Well,
It's a fighting game. It's not part of the anime trope. It's basically like we'll call that arena fighter because that's what they're based off of.
Yeah.
Like there is an arena, and you have instead of a two-way dash, or you will have more of a eight-way dash, meaning that you can go back, forth. Well, four-way would be back, forth, left, right, but for an arena fighter, you can go all 8 directions. So that'll be part of like SoCal or Guys or Tobal, or actually Tobal's part of like Tekken. Or like Power Stone, stuff like that will be an arena fighter. Anime fighters are for its unique trope of looking like an anime, and that was because of games not really being like that. So that's where I brought up like Sailor Moon, but that'll be like Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighters goes back to the traditional term because they use the same mechanics, but technically that's a team fighter because there's multiple characters you can play at the same time. That again, the FGC is confusing.
okay, so I have one question. So, like, all right, the OG Budokai confused because like, it's
Yo,
just
Nick
like
died.
yeah, I shit. But anyways, the old Dragon Budokai, like one, two, three, Infinite World. Um, I guess are those? Would you consider those arena fighters or they're 3D fighters?
Talking about Budokai You talking
No,
about
no, not
Budokai
Tenkaichi. I'm
Tenkaichi
talking
or
about
just
the
Budokai?
original Budokai,
Those are
not
3D fighters. Those are
And you're
3D
gonna be
fighters.
asking the question, what is a arena and 3D? Again,
like
3D was like for Virtual Fighter Tekken style.
Where you still have a side view camera focusing on both characters, but the thing is they're not locked to a singular two-dimensional plane. You can still be able to walk towards the foreground and background.
But
That would
it's
be
still
3D
locked in
fighter.
a 2D
Yeah.
plane.
Not like a 2D plane, it's just the camera's focused specifically on the side.
But you get the
focusing on
idea. You
both
still get
characters
like
on a singular, yeah. You have a
you get the
singular
idea of like
perspective.
left right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Whereas an arena fighter has the camera individually focused on a singular character, and the character has a basically just a singular opponent, or it could be. It depends on the fighter itself, but you could have more than one opponent. But for the most part, really, like it boils down to just you having to fight like your camera being focused at the distance between you and your opponent. So like again, like Budokai Tenkaichi, that would be considered an arena fighter. You have a singular camera focused on one character, the character primarily the one you're playing as, and you're locked specifically, like your perspective is locked specifically towards whoever you're trying to fight. And should there be a secondary player playing like against you, then you would have two individual cameras instead of one.
If this is really old, the camera will pan even further back on the field itself, so it can show both players as they move around.
Right. That is also correct.
So again, fighting games are really weird and interesting in how they're very different from each other, but they're also individually, not even individually, just all considered hard to learn. Even though they try their hardest to teach you all the mechanics that the game has.
Is this your forward three? Yes. Good. You understand that this attack is triggered from this input, and it comes from your controller, to which I just showed you how to do it. That is correct. Good. So then, if that is the case, then you can perform this input by doing those. Then you can perform this attack by performing that specific input on your controller. That seems correct to me. Then do it. I don't know how to do it.
No.
I don't know how to do it.
Don't get me started with Tekken, bruh. How do people learn Tekken off the jump? Bro, you see that?
Easy.
You see that star in the middle? You see that star in the middle? That's supposed to be neutral. The fuck you mean that's supposed to be neutral? Forward, neutral,
Don't
torso. What do you
fucking
mean?
move. Means you don't do anything for like
Wait,
a
how do I
split
not do
second.
anything for 2 seconds?
Do
You
nothing.
did too slow. Did nothing too
You
slow? What do you mean?
You do nothing for 0.5 seconds, and then you do it.
Again, fighting games are hilarious. This
I remember teaching one of my old like while I was still in high school, I was like teaching one of my friends how to fucking play do like a combo in Tekken, and I said the fucking term pause, so I was like, yeah, you gotta do forward, then fucking forward, then down. Um, no, sorry, you gotta do forward, then you gotta pause, and then do down forward. And they're like, okay,
Did you
and
pause
they
the
hit
game?
forward, then they pause the game. I fucking died. I looked at her and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's not what I meant. I was like, what do you mean that's not what you meant? You literally just said.
Again, for a shooter, I could say jiggle peek the corner.
Pickle
I
Pete.
ain't telling you to throw ass around the corner, but that like a person will be like, okay, I understand, bro.
Throw ass around the corners. Crazy work. I'm not gonna hold you.
Oh wait, what else is jiggle peek? I mean, but if I if I told someone on the street, yeah, get guess the mix, which side, shimmy.
Guess
I
the
could throw out a bunch of fighting terms, and it just sounds like gibberish.
you know what's funny? Imagine saying this
Crossover,
shit in an
cross
actual
under.
fight. Be like, guess the mix up, and it's like, you picked it. And you I love. I didn't realize something fucking devious. Like, all right, boys. It's saying, let's brainstorm with me for a second. You're throwing hands in the street. You go, guess this mix up. They go, huh? You hit him with a 1, 2, 3, and then you skip till 6.
Niggas just wants to do Jujutsu Kaisen type bullshit to like random strangers. Oh hell nah.
No, 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 no. Hear me out. Hear me out. Now, I didn't mention anything about no curse techniques yet. That doesn't come till later.
I ain't talking about no curse technique. You see the way they be fighting?
Understandable. They do jump. They do jump. It is the hood out there.
Brother, I get it. That is a level of that is a quite literally like a goddamn JoJo ass like stand mix. You're about to get hit with a Skullgirls combo. Speak again. I can understand newer players not liking fighting games for it be confusing, and then like the high ladder showing you like the very cool combo, and you want to do cool combo, and you find out how hard what they're actually doing.
Why the fuck did I get comboed like that? Good lord. I mean, that's why I can't afford
Exactly. That's
rushing it.
that's also what newer players feel.
I got fucking Grabby rushed. I got a rush with Grabby. He said, do you believe in Grabby? Sit your ass down.
All right, this sucks. Like, I realized I am most likely sick now, and I'm gonna have to go to work for the next 5 days during Hell Week. Sick.
Oh, no. Bro, can't you call out?
No,
Just call out. Just be like, I'm
I, it's a blackout week.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no power for a week.
You have no mod power.
But like, again,
Again.
I'm still going since the conversation began. I just find it hilarious that there's been no way to make it easier for a newer player to understand a fighting game. And I don't
What
want
if I
I don't want to be like, oh, I understand it
What if I make
100%. It's just I don't like fighting games, and they're really boring to me. And then I say, okay, do this combo then. It's like, oh, I don't know how to do that, but you said you understand how to play the fighting game, and you can't
Maybe,
show me
like-
the B&B.
Maybe like, what if I like make the fucking fighting game written in like Arabic?
Oh hell no.
Everybody might understand.
If it's
Yeah,
the real second
he's
game.
about to, no, he's like Isaac's about to pull out the Sumerian script. Is gonna be the forbidden fucking Mesopotamian tech.
I've been doing low forward fireballs since you were all a fucking type 1 civilization.
Again, like I stated in a conversation earlier that the best game I could tell people about that people will play, and I played a lot of, is like a Souls like, and I don't understand how people can just like play that and not play a fighting game, because like the game doesn't tell you shit, but people finish it, and it's like, yeah, I got it.
Well, then again,
But-
I gotta help you
Fucking
guys.
you give them-
I gotta help you guys.
Fucking Neo.
Neo's no, that's I refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. I know it's beloved for a lot of people. You know, shoutouts to Neo 3. I have a cousin playing that right now, actually. But yeah, like, goddamn, how does like a Souls game get so much love, but has one of the worst tutorials of all time?
They teach you how to play the game, kind of.
Oh,
Very
they
little.
don't.
You know,
They-
teach you
they-
the
But they
block,
tell
teach
you
how
the
to dodge.
control scheme. That's the okay. Again, they teach you the control scheme.
All right, Nick, did you learn about critical backstabs? Did you learn about counter damage? Did you learn about parry windows and how they change between weapons?
Oh, fuck.
Did you learn about like the jump attack? Oh, they do teach you, but you have to find the secret area for it. Did he tell you about how every weapon has a different attack strength? Did he teach you that you can get like how rings work? Sigils? Crests?
You're scary.
Well, what else? What else? Maybe they have like a drain mechanic, like his Bloodborne, where if you once you get hit and you attack back, you get some health back. Did he teach you about how like getting a critical attack, basically basically getting any type of riposte gives you back 2 times the health? No.
Wait, hold on.
If you get hit in Bloodborne and if you riposte after getting hit, you can gain back all your health because you gain more.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotta
Did
go
the
back to play
Bloodborne teach you that?
No!
Exactly. But people will play through the game and say they understand 100% of the game. No. Did you know that if you sometimes it's better not to block in a Souls-like? If you're playing Dark Souls 1, like 1, 3, or Bloodborne, it's better to not do anything, not even block, and just get hit because you take less damage.
So weird.
Because you're not using up any of your stamina because you're trying to defend the hit. And if you dodge roll, that counts as a counter hit, just like in a fighting game. But they don't teach you that. So it's better to just take it. But again, it's beloved. People understand, but people play it and they'll be like, "Yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. I fully understand this." Which also brings up something about another cousin that's usually on this Discord channel. Dimitri will bring up goddamn I forgot. I know Dimitri and Joss had trouble with a low high mix up that they always teach you in a fighting game. Like more modern fighting games will teach you low high mix ups and how to block against that. But they had trouble doing the hard versions of those low high mix ups, which is funny. Like they understand fighting games a little bit more than like someone that's completely new, but there's still things that still trouble them. Isaac, what's something in the fighting game that you still have trouble every once in a while understanding?
That's a good question. I guess performing a fucking ultra a charge ultra under an FADC.
Understandable. Understandable. For all the people that don't play fighting games, we're talking about some real shit.
Yeah, it's a thing in Street Fighter 4. Y'all wouldn't get it. Y'all are too young for that. That's the Unk fighting game.
Yo, Street Fighter 4 is not the Unk fighting game. Ah!
Yes, the fuck it is.
I'm
Also
old.
fighting. Actually, no, that's Street Fighter 2. That's the
Oh hell no! That's the grandpa fighting.
That's the granddad's fighting game, bro.
Okay, so
That
what's
is
fighting game? What's the ancient caveman fighting game?
no, that is Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 is what made all fighting games exist. Technically, like they did exist, but like how modern fighting games work is because of Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2 was the fire that the caveman used to make the first fire.
Yeah, that's literally the SpongeBob moment. That's the SpongeGar moment right there. Capcom fucking saw the fucking the cancel glitch, and like a guy was just doing a guy in the arcade was just doing combos abusing that glitch, and then they had the fucking SpongeGar moment. They were just looking at the fighting game. They were looking at the player doing the combos, and they saw their hands fucking doing all this motions and shit, and it just cut back to their face fucking in awe.
And SNK is like, can I borrow a couple of these?
Yeah, don't
Mhm.
copy. Don't make
No, no they took what was originally a glitch and made it the main mechanic of the game afterwards. And that mechanic became the fucking backbone for so many other 2D fighters in today's modern like age. Hell, some 3D fighters even use that kind of mechanic, believe it or not.
You can't say combo out Street Fighter. Basically.
Yeah. Fucking Tekken also kinda revolutionized 3D fighters to a degree.
Yeah, genre so diverse, but it's the least played out of all the other genres. You have more people playing farming
up.
sims.
Hold up.
So yeah, let me put this conversation on hold.
Okay.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Gotcha. I'll be right back.
I'm back.
He messes up too much early. I can definitely deal with him. But they reworked Galio a bit ago. They make him more of a tank now instead of building AP. So
All right, I have returned. What the fuck happened? Where is everyone? Ah,
I'm
hell
still
no.
here.
They escaped the wall. They escaped the wall redacted.
What are you talking about? I'm still here. I went to the bathroom.
Oh. I was sitting here like, yo, they escaped the wall redacted. They escaped. Good hell. Well, I'm not. I'm guessing the redacted got him.
Yeah, this
I'm gonna be oh, Seb, I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna be saving this VOD by the way.
all right.
I think it was a good talk, and honestly, I want to keep it.
Good. Is this like one of those things that I forgot what even sparked it to begin with. It was like a conversation with like some coworkers going, I show off a combo because that's what I normally do from time to time. And it was like, wow, you're like really good. And I say like, I'll be honest, I'm like okay. Like I'm not the best. Like I'm okay. And it's like, oh I can't do it. I can't even tell like what's the half the things you're doing in this. I don't know how you were managed to think of the combo or how you even play a fighting game. Which made me wonder like, wait, why do you say that? It's too confusing. It's this, it's that. At the same time, I find it hilarious that a lot of people who, well, the tried and true American fighting game will be Mortal Kombat.
What's up, y'all? I mean, what up, Gaffer? Welcome to Wall Redacted. Well, actually, I put you on the Wall Redacted today.
Well, she's muted.
He escaped her now. She definitely escapes the Wall of the Redacted. I may have gotten you too. I'm gonna get everything today. Everybody's gonna be through the Wall of Redacted. So, this is something I was thinking about when I was at work today, right? Jesus. Anyways, there was something I was thinking about work today. I was playing Surfs Up for the PlayStation 2 yesterday. And I've been playing PlayStation 2, the game I've been playing lately, right? And what's been on my mind is that, what if we did the Surfs Up tournament? Like, what if we hosted a tournament just for that game? Like, just make a tournament of the most, like, random ass games and see what type of people it brings out. Like, let's make a community out of the, like, obscure games that really should have a tournament or have one. Like, I don't know, what you think of that? You think of me, you think of something crazy?
Yeah, it could work.
And the only thing is that I don't know how to multiplayer because, like, how would we do that? I mean, we would have to create the bracket ourselves. But I'm still, like, this is just something I think about at work. So it's like, damn, I kind of want to host a Surf's Up tournament. I want to see what people play this game, or whoever plays the game, and see how they, like, what a tournament is. Because, you know, we have fight game tournaments and all that. And I'm like, yo, let's go to Surf's Up. Oh, let's have the SpongeBob SquarePants the movie race. Like, stuff like that. Now, without a Chicken Little tournament, the game Chicken Little tournament. Poet, the sky is falling. The sky is falling games or something. Plenty of people in the serving community. I mean, plenty of people in the extreme sport community will fuck with this one. The XFS Tricky tournament.
I would
Whoever most races and the most like crazy tricks and get the most points win. It'll be like 3 games, and it's like if you get the most points, you win. Or like, and it'd be like you win on 2 things. One, off points. So like how many points you get in the game, and 2 by the audience. So the audience will judge like, oh man, how elite was your gameplay? And if the audience likes your gameplay more, you win. But I think that'll probably be like a tiebreaker type. So it'll be like we have a tie, and we decide the winner is deciding based off the gameplay. Hey, you understand my breakdown, Seth? Yeah, it's just been something I was thinking about when I was like working today. I was like, man, the Surfs Up tournament is so stupid. Like, I can see it. I can envision the tournament going crazy. And I know tons of people watched the movie. They got people play the game.
Well, everyone that watched the movie at this point are we're getting old now.
Yes, we are. We are very much getting. Yeah, I'm getting my shit clapped. Anyways, I understand that we are getting old. I get it. We're on status. Or we're Big Brother reaching on status. I get it. But I'm telling you, we can have like random ass tournaments that will go crazy. One-shot tournaments, fucking. It just based off the games of our childhood. And you know, somebody our age, or somebody when they get to our age, like, man, let's have a Gen Z tournament. Some bullshit. I don't know, that's just been something that's been on my mind for a minute. That I'm thinking about doing. Like hosting a Surfs Up tournament, and it'll be like the actual game, and we'll have like a whole tournament. I'm not sure what the winner will win. Probably just Dragon Race to be real with you. I mean, we could always do like $40,000, but someone might play for the vibes, you know? You know, turn up the whole tournament. You locked in right now, son?
No, I just got reminded that I was like looking up the game, but before I even got to hit that, I got reminded that Surf's Up had a sequel. And I was like, oh yeah, how come I never heard about it? And I was like, oh yeah, it was like a WWE movie.
What?
Did you know that Surf's Up had a sequel?
I'm gonna be real with you. I probably forgot about it. I pretty sure I knew he had a sequel, but like I said, I forgot about it because I don't think it was memorable or anything. At least to me. But nah, like thinking about this game, I was like, damn, a tournament for this game would be kind of fun. Like some offer little redacted pop. Like the Earth is big, we'll find something. If not, I guess I'll just get a bunch of homies to play the game and host the tournament that way. Nah, tournament. I was just thinking about how it's done because it's like I guess you would have to do it through Parsec. Nah, I don't know about the PC port. Because a friend of mine tried to download the port. Now he never got that download. I was like, what is the PC port like? If it's similar to the console version, maybe you can do that one. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I just felt like a childhood game, and I'm just like, damn, it'd be really fun to play a tournament. I don't know. What game? Like you would think would have a crazy tournament game that's like a crazy tournament scene that's not a fighting game or a first-person shooter.
Crazy. Let me see.
Yeah, like you think it will go really hard if somebody hosted a tournament in a game, and it's not a first-person shooter, or I mean, it's not a shooter or a fighting game, and
Oh,
it has that multiplayer.
like I always thought of rhythm games because those are crazy to see. Because back in high school, I was really into Osu, and there will be Osu tournaments. And it's based off a team score and stuff like that. And it'll work by the team will select there'll be a set list, and then they'll choose a player to play the song against another player, and at the end, for a tiebreaker, it'll be everyone playing at the same time, and it'll be judged by a group score instead of individual, or they'll just do that whole entire group play at the same time. And it's just crazy to see people play at like super high speed, but everything is in unison. It's like perfect time, and since accuracy is really important, when someone loses like steam, they lose steam. You could tell straight away who messed up.
So,
What?
so that's what's up.
I say that, but that can just work for like any rhythm game. I say games are cool, especially if it's like a team style type of race. But then again, that's what they do for like track media. Shout out to the event organizers for like the biggest track media tournament. But I want that to be for like, I don't know, like a Need for Speed type or some shit.
Honestly, Need for Speed would be a pretty good game. Like, you know what would be a really good tournament game, racing game? Burnout.
Yeah, that could work.
Burnout would go crazy. Because like you're watching everybody going super high speed, and the crashes are nice. So Midnight Club would be a pretty cool game tournament, especially since all the people have like decked out cars. You can see somebody design their own car and bring it to the track. It's like, damn, those kind of tough. Yeah, I see it. All right, sorry for the dead air chat. Kind of a little quiet.
And again, I'm just thinking about like all the other games, but a lot of these stuff, there's tournaments for everything. There's competitive Mario Party.
What you doing, Sam?
You doing?
Yeah.
I was playing a rhythm game, but I'm just talking to Nick. He's streaming right now.
What is that? Oh, it's a rhythm game, sorry.
You know, Jocelyn, since you're here, I got a question for you. What? Wait, you still there?
Huh?
Hey, Jocelyn, what game do you think would make a crazy tournament scene?
A tournament?
Yeah, like if any video game, it can't be a fighting game or a or a shooter game. Just any
That
game
is so funny.
on
That is so funny because I remember
tournament
I
scene.
think I mentioned this last week. I remember I said, Sebastian, hey, is Stardew can be a tournament game? And Sebastian was like, yeah, can Stardew? Can fucking Stardew?
Stardew Valley.
It's not a fighting
Again,
game.
I said yeah because there already was a tournament for Stardew Valley.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
It was
No,
What
okay.
would it even be about? Fishing?
it was kind of more so like a speedrun tournament.
Hold on, I'll be back. Uh,
Oh my god. The Stardew Valley's tournament had the same amount of money on the line as the Marvel Rivals tournament. Have you fished with good vibes on the line?
I I I don't think I have. I don't think I had with good vibes on the line, right?
The Valley Cup was a major and official and often first of its kind 40,000 plus competitive tournament.
$40,000. Hey guys, you ever play Stardew Valley with your vibes on the line?
So the format was 16 players divided in 4 teams.
Shoot, we are actually leaving. Yo, this is cool. I like this. Oh, shit, we're actually moving. That's actually cool. Hey, it's Dr. Tickle. No,
Joss left.
yes. Oh, I'm fighting the same one now? Okay. Ow. I fucked up.
Again, sorry if I was quiet. I was looking at the rules for the Stardew style tournament.
How you good? I'm just like trying to lock in like this ball.
But still, it is crazy what you have to do for this tourney with a time limit of 3 hours.
Oh shit! Keep fuck. I gotta get you, dog. I didn't see that. Hey, welcome. Yes, welcome to the Wall of Redacted. That's how you do, man.
I can see there.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Did you join like my stream and just leave?
Yeah, because nothing was happening.
Yeah, I've been taking a break.
Oh, by the way, I am live on Twitch. Right?
I will
just want to let you know. But yeah, you're on the wall. You're on the redacted wall now. I have caught you. I've caught
Mm.
you. Welcome to the redacted
Whoa, whoa! I don't think you should say you caught me for what redacted stands for.
wall.
All their hundreds of games association with the brand. With those hundreds more when they now prospect to the disclosure of cancelled games has been a surprisingly talent. In fact, when including projects that were eventually reworked to titles
Marcus,
from planned updates
Marcus,
immediately mode, you can almost
there.
What's up?
I would like to inform you. Nick brought up a question which brought up a whole entire statement from a previous conversation I had with Jocelyn about Stardew Valley having a tournament. And I vividly remember this tournament because I watched part of it. It had the same amount of money in this tournament as Marvel Rivals.
Starting Marvel Rivals type event in this tournament.
It had
Damn.
it didn't have a Marvel Rivals type, but it had an event just like how Marvel Rivals did their tournament, except it was hosted by the creator of Stardew. 40K on the line. Have you ever fished with good vibes on the line?
You have a fish with good vibes on the line.
count them as a project. Not mix and toast. But surprisingly, you know about a cancer game that was quite outlandish. It's called Chocolate Mountain. First announced in the 1990s. She's contact advanced control interface that had already garnered attention from the tech community. However, since development was heavy,
Thank God. I probably should upgrade Cat at some point. I really should upgrade her moveset.
What are you playing?
Gravity Rush too.
Oh.
I could definitely.
nice.
Mm.
What happened in that room? Get out. I was Walker. Since we technically only Marvel Rivals is giving Adam more luck,
Welcome
then I
back.
think it's time to fuck with here. And I think the only character who's on the same level of Warlock is Magneto. He definitely needs a host. Right now, all he does is hover around. He's also already mindful. So I say we just go all out. One. Since we technically village. Oh, I see you've been working on your map. I see you haven't been working on your own. Okay. Like that? Yeah. Yo, I can do this all day. I'm gonna work until Monday. Oh yeah? Don't show me. I don't have a job. So what you thinking? You have no idea what I'm thinking. Use the force, Margie. My head with it. Castlevania is pretty well known for having basically useless stats in its games. One of the most bizarre has to be the Star title's enemy MP stats. These are basically the only games in the series to have these, with every enemy having their own MP value. But oddly enough, not a single enemy in either game has a way of using any of this MP, so the stat doesn't actually do anything in normal gameplay. As it turns out, the only use for the MP value is for the Astral Veil and Astral World ability, which will swap the enemy's HP for this MP value,
Get me the
which
fuck
just
out of here.
seems like an oddly high amount of work for a single player in this game. You know, maybe they could have instead used this time to actually get their player stats working, but what do I know? I wonder why movie theater popcorn tastes so different.
Alright, I think I'm gonna close the stream for now because we have been streaming for 2 hours. Alright, see you people.
Well, they have a tendency to keep making the same